Night. All right. Good to see you. I see some faces I haven't seen in a bit. Hey, Stephanie. Hi, Amanda. Hey, Laura. I see Lori out there. Good to see you guys. We are back. We are resuming um, our Monday night team time based on your feedback. So I actually personally am really happy about it. I personally felt disconnected once we stopped doing this. I felt disconnected. So wide open to feedback, input, et cetera. And so I'm glad that you guys who participated in the little poll and what came back as the top three things you guys were interested in. And I would say there would be mine too, is having this forum for our personal connection community to feel a part of this so that we can be seen, right? And know your peers and all the things that this community provides for us. The second resounding one was skills training. So we will spend more time on skills training. And or definitely pointing to other resources if it's out there for us, but spending more time on skills training. But what I really want to do is, in related to that skills training, is the third thing, which was interactive. Having interactive idea exchange. And that is something that we did a lot on Thursdays on Time for You, but not everybody could attend that because they work, different schedules, et cetera. So helping this meeting evolve, especially in the group size that we are, evolve more into an interactive format, I think would be really, really beneficial. So I'm going to keep this open. And like I said, always open to your feedback because what Meg and I definitely want to do, and the other leaders in the group, is provide value. Nobody needs another meeting. Nobody needs, to just be here just, because you feel like you're supposed to, that we want you to want to be here. The other thing I would say that's up in the air is that, and I want you guys to participate as you want in it. Now we're kind of, it's like one foot on the curb, one foot on the bus, because we were following along with like Dan Bell's organization, which provides, from a field perspective, the Monday night, which is now called Real Talk call, the Monday night community call. So that is the webinar style. Meg led it 2 weeks ago, et cetera. That is cool. We're a little more seen in that organization. So sometimes we can lead, sometimes our people can participate in it. But it's more of the webinar format. The Valentines Dan and Megan Valentine, who have so graciously opened their training to everybody and their meetings, because they have really adopted a mindset, and I love this, of one team. We're all in this together. If we can be better together, let's go together. And so they have started a new community group for their people that are joining. There is a Facebook group, but they have a community call at 8, which is right before their 8:30 call, same Zoom room, but it's done this Brady Bunch style, kind of similar to how we used to do when we did our own. And they're getting a huge response to that. And so that is more of the interactive, hearing from more different people, clients, et cetera. So I am going to spend the next couple of weeks on their call just to see what that's like. And so I'm not going to do a watch party because I can't watch party that in here, but leaving it open to you guys what you want to participate in or invite your clients to. I did talk to some other leaders that have had their own big groups and are now, following the Valentines and what they were doing. And what they said was, one of the leaders told me, is that they are really working hard to coach their new clients really, really well. And, that's number one priority. And these new clients, they're inviting them to this newer format because they weren't getting that much response and involvement with other things. That could be an option too, is that we just gradually evolve. I don't know that we would I don't think we could bring all of our clients over into a new Facebook group or want to, but we may choose to hop into their community call. And then you 100% have the option. There are definitely advantages and benefits to being part of a larger training like the Valentines do at 8:30. It is a longer call. And you 100% have the option to be a part of that as well. So any feedback on that, comments or questions about the community call aspect of it? Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think the calls are very good. For me, they're late. And if we start at 7 and we go through, I mean, I'm normally getting ready for bed at 8:30 or 9. So that's like,
Yeah.
for me, it was kind of, it was hard for me to stay engaged in it.
Yeah. Yeah. Our group participation did drop. You know, we were keeping track of who wasn't drop getting on that call. But those that were getting on it was consistent. So again, that's why it's an option now for what you want to participate in. So okay, well, let's just do a couple of things because I do still think one thing I really like about a smaller group setting like this is that we can do some recognition and be able to recognize what's going on in the group. I have chosen to adopt this, like the Valentines have. Like this is a season of growth for you guys and for all of us. Like we clean slate, clean slate. We're all here. We want to grow. We want to help more people. We are better together. So we're going to celebrate the dickens out of everything, right? Like the fact you're on this call, phenomenal. If you weren't aware of it and you want to join in, we've got a group of people that have joined an accountability group for doing the EDGE activities, which we're going to talk about in a couple of minutes, but you can join in on that and be a part of it. And about half of the people on this call tonight are in that group, and they were on at a call at 7 before we started this. But I did just post this, but I will share it because I think it is a big deal. Let's see. Give me a second. I'm having a hard time here. Hold on, screens. There we go. All right. Vicki, can you see my screen? Yes. I'm gonna put it in slideshow. Oops. Let me undo that. All right. So some cool things are happening. So congratulations to Shauna and Frank and to Kelly, who all have over $10,000 in frontline volume in FQV, frontline qualifying volume. That is huge. The higher your frontline volume, the more population of people that you have that you're working with, usually is a reflection of new and existing clients, and just a lot of people getting healthy. We added in the 8,000 dollar club a couple of months ago. And so Meg and I are a part of that. And then wanted to recognize those that brought in new clients. Kelly McCullough, who brought in 2 new clients. One of her new coaches, Ellen, brought in 1 new client. Vicki Feldman brought in 1. Debbie, Frank and Shauna, Pat Daniel, who's back in business over there, and Glenn Mayberry, who is also one of Kelly's new coaches. So new coaches for in the month of May, and they each brought on a new client, which is phenomenal. And then we did have 3 new coaches join our organization. And guys, that's like a record. I don't think we did that in all of 2024, that we brought in like 3 in a month. So that is super huge. And what is going to really be the focus is new. You know, we love our existing clients. If they want to come back, if we want to reactivate them, etc., we are 100% in support of that. But the real focus of if you want to grow your business is going to bring on new clients and then also bring on new coaches. And one of the things we're going to talk about is, I want to show you something. So you might be thinking, and you might be thinking, well, nobody's growing right now. It's so hard. One client, only that many people brought in 1 client. But being a part of the Valentine's organization, went and looked, and this is just one of many posts of growth. And this is something when you look at this, what I want you to do is look at this with potential, right? Not to tell yourself a story like I suck because I didn't do that, but of potential and what is really happening out there. I thought this was a great story. This guy, Brian, it said that he found Optavia after losing 200 pounds on his own before. Jumped in as a client and a coach on the same day, which was May 14th. May 14th, guys. This is a May accomplishment. And he lost 20 more. He ordered his coach kit and his whatever, lost 20 more pounds by being in our transformation system. He brought in 5 clients. He reached the cab and he got the $1,000. I mean, he reached senior coach and he got the $1,000 um, the new bonus, and that he would get the CSB, the 5% CSB for that too. That's pretty freaking amazing. And a great reminder that, somebody who's lost weight on their own, it doesn't mean that they wouldn't, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, man, if they could look at this and see our system and what we offer to do it in a way like this. So just wanted to share that to hopefully broaden your mind to potential coach candidates and what can happen. Somebody doesn't have to have a big weight loss story like on this program. This other couple that they are existing coaches, but they in the month of May got their frontline volume over 20,000. It was 21,000. They have never been over 20,000 before. They brought in 12 new clients and 5 new coaches last month. So things are happening. There is growth. This Justin and Kristen, they were brand new senior coaches. They brought in 5 new clients. They got the CSB and the bonus. So new coaches, I mean, that's where you kind of see, I want you to feel that energy of bringing in new and what can happen with it. And then this other individual was brand new executive director, first time executive director. So people are growing, people are reaching new ranks. So that potential is out there, which is exciting. So, wanted to hear from you, Kelly, just for 2 or 3 minutes, because you brought on 2 new coaches last month, and they both got into action. Each brought on, 1 new client. So, can you just share about a little bit about that? Maybe something that different that you've done or said, or what helped them get into action? Because I think that's an area most of us are hesitant around is new coaches. You can't get unmuted? Let me send you a little message, see if it lets you.
Okay. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
It wasn't popping up on my thing down here. Sorry. Oh, no. Glenn Mayberry, one of my new coaches, is on the call tonight. He's listening. If y'all see him over there.
Oh, hey, Glenn. Welcome. I
Say
see
hi.
you. Yes, we're glad you're here. Congrats on your client.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I'm thrilled that he could make it. And last week I was on at a conference, and so I was out of state, and Frank and Shauna stepped in and helped me out with my new coaches that had some new clients doing things, and I was 2 hours difference in time frame, and so it was just a weird deal, plus in meetings and stuff. And so they were able to step in and help out with some things, which was wonderful. But Glenn is Glenn, his thing, I didn't even ask Glenn about coaching, y'all. Bad on me. I didn't even ask him. He asked me. Okay. He was like, can I coach this plant? Because he's doing great. Okay. And he's like, can I be a coach on this plant? I was like, absolutely. And then we started talking about all the incentives and all the stuff. And he's like, oh my goodness. And then we talked with Frank, and Frank kind of explained a little bit more. And so he was like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. And so we got him he was talking to some folks at work, and then he made his first post about everything. And so we're working on some more things with we're going to be doing some more things on social media and whatnot. But I'm just super excited about him. And Ellen is the other new coach. She is a nurse, and she works nights, and she's working tonight. That's why she's not on this call. But she's got new people. She's got a new person, and she's got another new person that's actually started today. We signed up today. Glenn has another person that has said they're ready, but they're waiting for a payment. And so they're coming in to make their payment. They're waiting later in the week. And so getting rolling with that. So I fully expect both of them to have at least 5 new people by the end of the month and win that extra $1,000 bonus. I want them to be able to earn that extra $1,000 bonus with what they're doing to help all these wonderful people that are excited, because they're seeing what they're doing. They're seeing how excited they are.
Yeah.
And I'm just thrilled for them all. Yeah.
That's great. And that energy, right? The excitement of being out there, et cetera. So congratulations, Glenn, on your own personal journey and for having the courage to ask about coaching and step into it. Maybe a reminder for all of us to make sure we ask, because sometimes people want to coach, but they're like scare, you know what I mean? They'll be like, really, me? But a great reminder to do the inviting. I think that's why that is also part of the EDGE activity. So that becomes part of our conversations. So fabulous. So congratulations on that. That is some good stuff. So what I wanted to talk about tonight, because it really is our focus, if we are looking to grow, the company is laying it out for us. So this is our training part of the call. The company is laying it out for us based on evidence of what people who are growing are doing and what makes the difference. And that is the EDGE activity. So shame on me, I can't remember what EDGE stands for. Can you? It was like educate, develop, I can't remember, but basically it's doing the right actions consistently. And this is where I think the rubber hits the road for us as coaches, especially as experienced coaches, because some of us have slipped into patterns of only doing part of it, maybe just doing the posting, but not doing the conversations, etc. So, but it's how it all works together that's going to help you really, truly connect with people. And there it is, Gina. Thank you. Engage, duplicate, grow, and elevate. That's beautiful. Beautiful. So simple things done consistently. So just going to share what they are. And we're going to start with the first one and do this really together on it. Lost my cursor here. Here we go. So the EDGE activities are, if you're not aware, are the basics here of adding 3 new friends. These are new connections on social media daily. And that's the one we're going to zero in on. Making 3 new conversations every day. We'll talk about that next week. The posting 3 times daily on social media. Being actively engaged and staying on our own Optavia health journey. I think if anything can hold you back in this business, it's if you are struggling in that area. There's always a direct correlation of how aligned we are with what it is that we're promoting in our own personal behavior. You guys are already winning. Check this box, attend your team trainings this week, and then inviting 3 people to explore coaching. And that's one I really want to spend some time on as well in the future. But tonight, talking about how do we add 3 new clients, 3 new friends daily on social media. And the one thing that has been reinforced, if you've been on the Valentine's boot camps or their calls, is honestly, you guys, we cannot do this through social media alone. It's going to get weird if you've been coaching a long time, you've made friends with all your people, you're randomly friend requesting strangers. It's not going to have the same impact. So part of this making 3 new friends on social media involves us getting out in life and meeting new people in different ways. So wanted to have Diane Nix just share for a second, because she had shared a story with me. We were on a mentor call last week. She said something like, oh, I have a health assessment tonight. And I said, well, where did this person come from? And she shared the story with me.
Yeah. So I just joined it. I mean, it was a hike that Piedmont Health Group puts on. So it's, open to the public and whatever. And I've been on 1 or 2 of them a couple of years ago. It's been a while, but I looked to check to see, if there's one that is I can actually make. And so I did. It was actually Memorial Day on that morning. And so drove up to the hike. One of these ladies is like, oh my gosh, can anybody help me with menopause? I'm 52 years old and I just don't know what I'm going to do. I got to do something. And I said, well, I can help you. And so we just started chatting, and we didn't chat right away, but she was up at the front and I said, well, let's talk later. I can help you with my healthy habits. And so then we got connected in the line and just was walking and talking. And I set up a health assessment. She was out this weekend, but we're going to be connecting again. So you never know. But even through networking, like with my Kettering group, it's just an executive networking group that I'm a part of. And we have meetings almost every Friday. And I purposefully, who are the new people, who are new guests of people that came that day. and I make sure I meet them, send them a note. I'd love to connect with you, see if I can help you out with my HR connections or anything I can help you out with. I just try to be friendly and welcoming. So it is important to get out.
That is good. I love that you went and looked and got yourself involved in something different. And you're an active person, so right, hiking, whatever, you've just found something that you could go to that looked like it was interest.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Had you not made that decision, you wouldn't have heard that, I mean, she kind of threw, it was a gold mine. I mean, I don't even know what to call that. Like that was just some really warm hanging fruit that right there. And of somebody who's boldly asking, right? Now that may or may not happen when you go out to a new event, but you could talk to the person on the left, talk to the person on the right, ask their names, find them on social media, friend request. Well, then they're going to start to see your stuff. So, but I love that. And it was only by you making that decision to do something different, to get out and to meet. And then I love that you're looking at every networking event or Friday event that you're at. And I think Debbie and I talked about that last time. She's part of a chamber event. I was like, are you friends with everybody in that group? Are they connected with you on social media? Are the guests, are you making a point to get to know the guests, getting their cards, connecting with them? So, so let's just talk about it. Let's do some brainstorming. I'll write this all down and then I can share it when I post this recording. But what are the things that you do to find new friends for Facebook?
I'll share.
Okay.
Just went to that conference this last week, and every time I was in the line to go to a restaurant, or I was talking to the people around me, talking to the wait staff, just having a normal everyday conversation like you have. And then you strike up conversations, you find you have things in common. And what I do is I take a picture with them, and then I get their contact and I send it to them. I send the picture that we just made together so that they remember who I am.
Ooh.
And then we ask, and then I ask them if, are you on social media at all? And if they're on Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn, then, then I'll send you a connection request. Okay. But they've got my picture and I've got the record of that message that I sent. And so, yeah, there were a lot of people at the conference, but people I was sitting beside and all that kind of stuff, but just in regular life, when you go into a restaurant, you're going to whatever activity you're going to and you're doing, you strike up conversations with people. It's a good idea and that taking the picture with them is, and it may not be, it fits my personality. I can do that. I don't feel uncomfortable doing that. But still just saying, hey, can I send you my, my contact, or I open up, open up my phone and I put their name in and like, do you mind putting your number in there? And then I text them right away. Hey, this is Kelly. So good to meet you. Da, 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 da. You don't have to have a picture, but they usually don't mind that kind of thing because you've been having a conversation with them. It's not like you walk up to a stranger and say, hey, can I have your number? So
Not the Target cashier or whatever. Yeah. Hey, are you on Facebook? Yeah. That's great. And I love Shauna is there in the comments edifying that you have a way of doing it that just flows, which is great. So, all right. Thanks for sharing that, Kelly. Who else? Maybe one of our experience coaches. How do you add new friends on social media? Or what have you been doing?
I always look at when it comes up, people you may know. And if we have a lot of connections, maybe I've never met them before, but I'll add them as a friend and then I'll send them a message. I can't believe we have 16 friends in common. We both live in Roswell and we've never met. And that just sort of gets it started. I was at a wedding this weekend and hadn't seen some of the people there in 36 years. And so I just sent them Facebook friend requests. Why not? And like Debbie and Kelly, I do a lot of networking and Diane. And so same thing, when someone new comes or they get added into the Facebook group of your networking group, send them a Facebook friend request, send them a message when you do that.
Excellent. Excellent. One thing I recently did was, I've been at a new gym since last fall. You might know somebody by first name, you don't know their last name, etc. But we do have a Facebook group for the gym and, Hue Fitness members or whatever. And so I went in there and then I just started looking and then I could find the person that I am, side by side with in class. So, because, but I don't friend request people I don't know at the gym because you don't want to be that person, like just clicking everybody. I mean, I guess you could, but that's something I've done. That was a recent, like it just dawned on me. I'm like, why don't I go into that Facebook group? I know people in here. So, and I've had one person out of that ask me about, she has an interest in coaching. Like, tell me more about what you're doing as a health coach. She's kind of where I was when I started this in life in terms of youngest going off to college, et cetera. So good. So the people you may know section and also networking events. What are some other things some of you guys have done?
I think when you are in a thread, like if I've got a friend who's made this post every day about this dog that she found. And so there's a ton of engagement on her post about that. And it's like an every day she's repeating a post. And if you can, strike up conversations with people, I've been able to do that in her thread. And some of these I might know because she's from my hometown. So it's easy when you can find people with something in common like that. So
Yeah, I mean, always I think in those groups, that's a great suggestion, Shauna, or if somebody ever been in a group and then somebody comments on your comment and like you don't know them, and then you can get a little banter going. Well, there's no harm in going out and friending them at that point because you've interacted some there. There is a document out I just searched up finding new clients Optavia, and I knew this was out there because I used it when I started. But it was finding client and coach candidates. It's a form from Optavia, and I'll post the link in there. But it's just some things to trigger the like free association of it. But one thing I did when a couple of years ago was like I went in and like high school friends, I would click on them and then I would look at all of their friends because there were people that I wasn't necessarily in their circle. I was quite the geek, but like those clicks don't matter now. So I started friending the cool kids, and they said yes. And so and some of those people have become clients over the years, or whatever. So looking at the friends of friends to see like sometimes it's just somebody that slips your mind. Like you're like, oh my gosh, I just haven't seen Susie. So that's why I haven't done it. So looking at your friends of friends on social media can be a big one as well.
I've done that with college. I've done it with high school. And I also did it with former jobs. And I was a teacher. And so I also went through and found, because they're all adults now. So I found some former students and I just had one of my former students sign up as a client. So yeah, it's just thinking about that, I know that name, not the kids you didn't like, only the good kids.
But that kid might have, yeah, I get it. Yeah. But they're obviously that you remember them because
Yeah,
there was something so they'll remember you.
exactly.
So that's a really cool idea. But think of everybody that you've ever worked with, right? Maybe Stephanie, in different hospitals you've worked in, or different people that have come and gone through the years that you enjoyed being around, people that you were in college with, people you might have been in a sorority with, people that, all of that, is good. I went back to like small groups I had been a part of years ago through my church. I was not connected with some of those people because back in the day, that social media wasn't as big of a thing, and so whatnot. So, other ideas? Well, good. I mean, I think that a lot of us know this, but I think it's as we're experiencing this can feel like a challenging thing. Like, how am I going to find three new people? I think just setting your attention. Kind of like when you're going to buy a car and you're going to buy a red car, and then when you think about a red car, suddenly you're seeing red cars everywhere. I think if you just set your intention of like, hey, I want to find new people to friend request or whatever. Say yes to opportunities to get out, get with people you don't know. But do something you like. If you wanted to play pickleball, or you wanted to play mahjong, or you wanted to learn something, get out and do that. Debbie and I, we talked about it like before. If you're a mom, like out by the pool, community pool, like dropping the kids off at camp or picking them up, like those kind of things, making friends. Julie, you're going into a great new season as Lily gets older, making friends with all the dance moms and all the things as she gets involved in class, other parents in the classes and stuff like that. Um, so lots of opportunity. All right. So the one last thing I'll share as we're going to close out, so you can hop on whichever community call you want. Just if you want to just mark your calendar if you didn't do so already. Just a reminder that I'll post this in the group, but in the our Coaches Opt for Change group. But the first Thursday of every month, 8 p.m. Eastern time, is the EDGE community call. So that will definitely be informative and helpful to all of us, especially those looking for more training. So, and before we wrap up, Kelly, I wanted to go back and edify because I listened carefully to what you were saying about how did you with the coaches, and then how these individuals becoming coaches and then finding clients. But the one thing you said was that you leaned into your mentorship. So when Glenn asked you about coaching, you brought him to a Coach Explore with Frank. Right. So you're following the process with that. And then I love the teamwork. Like when you weren't available, you leaned into your mentorship, if that meant covering a call for somebody. And we are all here to help. So never feel like you're imposing on your mentorship in any way, because we're all here to grow. And if your direct mentor is not involved, I have made myself available. I'm here to help anybody who wants to grow, whether that's working through your own personal health journey, working on growing your business, whatever it is, I'm here for you. All right. All right. Well, good to have the gang back. We'll see you. I like that, Debbie. Do the heart. See you guys next week. Bye-bye.